Hi, I'm Bakhtiar Asanov. Welcome to A News. Let's see the top stories. Drone attack on Ukraine's capital Kiev injures 11 people. Putin says he hopes there will be no need to use nuclear weapons in Ukraine. Iranian Foreign Minister Araghchi said to visit Pakistan and India amid escalating tensions between Islamabad and New Delhi. Russia's overnight drone attack on Kiev injured at least 11 people, including 2 children, and set several residential buildings throughout the city on fire.
Russia's overnight drone attack on Kiev injured at least 11 people, including 2 children, and set several residential buildings throughout the city on fire. Ukraine's emergency service said that 76 firefighters were involved in putting out the overnight fires in Kiev, which also included a small blaze in Kiev's central Shevchenkivsky district. The emergency service also said that several cars across the city caught fire from falling drone debris. Kiev, its surrounding region, and the eastern half of Ukraine were under air raid alerts for about an hour, starting soon after midnight on Sunday. Meanwhile, Ukrainian president signals willingness for ceasefire if Russia matches steps.
We are ready to move toward a ceasefire as soon as possible, even starting today, if Russia is ready to take reciprocal steps to establish complete silence, a lasting ceasefire of at least 30 days. Russia must stop the war and halt its assaults and shelling. Monday to Saturday, more than 950 Russian aircraft bombs were already ongoing. Daily intense fighting on the Pokrovsky direction, other Donetsk directions.
Meanwhile, Russia announced that its forces had destroyed 20-plus Ukrainian unmanned vessels and several military targets while intercepting 200-plus drones. Ukraine confirmed shooting down a Russian Su-30 fighter jet over the Black Sea, marking the first time a naval drone has downed a manned jet.
Meanwhile, Russian President Vladimir Putin has said that there is currently no need to use nuclear weapons in the ongoing conflict in Ukraine. The comments were broadcast on Russian state television as the war in Ukraine continues. Responding to a question about recent Ukrainian strikes on Russian territory, Putin emphasized that there has been no need to use nuclear weapons, adding that he hopes they will not be required. He reiterated Russia's capacity to achieve its objectives, saying that Russia has enough power to bring the war to a logical conclusion with the outcome Russia requires. North Korean leader Kim Jong-un has inspected a key tank factory. He said producing cutting-edge tanks and armored vehicles is key to modernizing the army and reaching the ruling party's plan for the second revolution in armed force. He praised advances in Korean-style tank technology as part of efforts to modernize the country's conventional forces. This follows recent displays of new naval and drone capabilities. His visit comes amid suspicions that North Korea is receiving Russian military support in exchange for aiding the war in Ukraine. The North Korean leader recently attended the launch of a new naval destroyer and tests of new drones, among other weapons. Voters across Australia have delivered their verdict in a high-stakes federal election shaped by economic pressures and political uncertainty. Prime Minister Anthony Albanese's Labour Party has secured another term, as early results show a shift away from the Conservative opposition.
Voting has closed in Australia's most populous eastern states, including Sydney, Melbourne, Brisbane and the capital Canberra, with polls in Western Australia closing 2 hours later. Early counting showed Prime Minister Anthony Albanese's centre-left Labour Party in a strong position, with broadcasters Sky News Australia, 7 and the Australian Broadcasting Corporation projecting a Labour victory.
In this time of global uncertainty, Australians have chosen optimism and determination. Australians have chosen to face global challenges the Australian way, looking after each other while building for the future.
Labour Party was shown to have secured a majority, defeating the Conservative Liberal National Coalition, led by Peter Dutton. The results suggest a nationwide swing away from Dutton's coalition, with Dutton himself losing his seat of Dixon and conceding defeat. He confirmed he had called Albanese to congratulate him. The election campaign was dominated by concerns over the soaring cost of living, crumbling public health care, unaffordable housing, and the impact of an unpredictable US President Donald Trump's policies. While Labour had trailed in polls earlier this year, it closed the campaign with a narrow lead. Celebrations erupted at Labour headquarters in Sydney as supporters marked the victory. Though Labour is projected to govern in its own right, the final shape of Parliament may be influenced by a range of independents and left-wing Greens, particularly in the event of a closer-than-expected outcome in some districts.
Prince Harry says he wants to reconcile with the royal family, but claims his father, King Charles, won't speak to him due to an ongoing dispute over security. He shared emotional thoughts during an interview following his latest legal defeat in the UK.
Some of my family.
Prince Harry says he still hopes for peace with his family, but that a 5-year conflict over security remains a major obstacle. Speaking just hours after losing a court battle over his police protection, the Duke of Sussex said King Charles has stopped communicating with him.
I would love reconciliation with my family. There's no point in continuing to fight anymore. As I said, life is precious. I don't know how much longer my father has. He won't speak to me because of this security stuff. But it would be nice to reconcile.
Harry, who stepped down from royal duties in 2020, now lives in California with his wife Meghan and their children. He says he no longer feels safe bringing his family to the UK and feels unfairly singled out.
No matter how much private security I have around me. So, I've been treated very, very, very differently to everybody else that exists. All examples that exist, past, present, I have been singled out.
Despite past tensions, Harry says he can forgive many things, but the removal of his security in 2020 still weighs heavily. He emphasised that, in the end, this is a family matter, one he hopes can still be resolved.
Where a decision that was made.
Meta, owners of social media platforms Facebook and Instagram, say they will leave Nigeria if the government insists on them paying fines imposed on them. The government last year placed fines on the company to the tune of $290 million. Tessem Akende reports from Jones.
Officials of the company made the position after failing to convince a court in Nigeria against the government's decision. Last year, 3 agencies in Nigeria imposed various fines against the company for different reasons. The country's Competition and Consumer Protection Commission slapped the company with a $220 million fine over what it called anti-competitive practices. It said that came after it carried out an investigation on the company for 2 years between May 2021 and December 2023. Similarly, the country's advertising regulator imposed a $37.5 million fine on the company over what it called unapproved advertising. Nigeria's Data Protection Commission also fined the company $32.8 million, alleging violation of its data privacy laws. According to online data platform Data Reportal, Nigeria had over 100 million internet users last year, with about 36.8 million of them having social media accounts. All of them have Facebook accounts, while about 13 million of them have Instagram accounts. Meta, which has between now and June to pay the fines imposed against it, has described the demands as unfeasible. It's unclear whether it will eventually comply with them, but it says they may be forced to leave the country to mitigate the risk of enforcement measures. Tassim Akendi for A News in Jos.
Iran's Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi is set to visit Pakistan and India as part of Tehran's regular consultations with neighboring countries. The trip signals Iran's continued engagement in a regional diplomacy amid shifting geopolitical dynamics. Patriarch will arrive in Pakistan on Monday to meet senior officials and discuss bilateral ties, regional and international developments. He is also scheduled to visit India later in the week, according to Iran's Foreign Ministry spokesperson Esmail Beghai. President of Azerbaijan Ilham Aliyev and First Lady Mehriban Aliyeva met with Patriarch Kirill of Moscow and all Russia, who is visiting Baku. During the meeting, the sides discussed mutual respect and cooperation.
On May 3rd, President Ilham Aliyev and First Lady Mehriban Aliyeva met Patriarch Kirill of Moscow and all Russia during his visit to Baku. President Aliyev welcomed the Patriarch, highlighting the ongoing tradition of sympathy, respect and support between peoples, which forms the foundation of strong interstate relations. He emphasized the role of interfaith and interethnic harmony in Azerbaijan, with the Orthodox community playing a key part in this peace.
We are pleased that the Orthodox community, as representatives of the Russian community, actively participates in the development of our country, contributes to the protection of its sovereignty and territorial integrity, and together with representatives of other nations living in Azerbaijan, makes a great contribution to our country's overall development.
Patriarch Kirill expressed his pleasure in visiting Azerbaijan again, praising the sincerity of President Ilham Aliyev and First Lady Mehriban Aliyeva, and valuing the country's atmosphere of mutual respect and friendship. He also conveyed President Vladimir Putin's greetings to Ilham Aliyev and invited him to attend the 80th anniversary of victory.
As someone who has had the experience of interacting with Vladimir Vladimirovich, I must say I sense sincere respect and openness in his words. I witnessed it personally. That's why we hope that you will be able to visit Moscow on the occasion of this significant date, the 80th anniversary of victory over the dreadful enemy.
During the meeting, Patriarch Kirill presented the first-class order of Holy Princess Olga to First Lady Mehriban Aliyeva for her contributions to preserving traditional values and promoting intercultural and interfaith dialogue. The meeting concluded with the exchange of mutual gifts.
In a development highlighting the growing security challenges Israel faces on multiple fronts, Israel Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has postponed a planned visit to Azerbaijan. The announcement comes amid escalating tensions in the region, particularly in the Gaza Strip and Syria. According to the statement, Netanyahu decided to postpone the trip due to what officials described as a tight political and security schedule, as Israel deals with multiple fronts of conflict. The Prime Minister extended his gratitude to Azerbaijani President Ilham Aliyev for the invitation and expressed his appreciation for the strong and warm relations between the two nations. While no new date for the visit has been set, both governments are expected to coordinate a future meeting once the regional situation stabilizes.
Regional development and
Baku's historic Icheri Sheher is alive with color and culture as the International Carpet Festival celebrates the art and heritage of carpet weaving from Azerbaijan and around the world. The festival brings together experts, designers and manufacturers from Azerbaijan and abroad, featuring exhibitions, master classes, interactive performances, live music and pavilions showcasing global carpet weaving traditions. This year marks the 25th anniversary of Icheri Sheher's UNESCO World Heritage status and the 15th anniversary of Azerbaijani carpet weaving's inclusion in the UNESCO Intangible Cultural Heritage List. Celebrations continue throughout the weekend with traditional displays and activities for children.
This is a large-scale and amazing festival. I'm very grateful to Azerbaijan. It is a very friendly country that generously shares its experience and professionalism. Azerbaijan is world-renowned for its carpet-weaving traditions. We also hope that in the future our descendants will be proud of us for contributing to the revival of carpet weaving in the Republic of Tatarstan.
We are here in Baku for the first time as part of an international women's project. We live in Astana and today decided to attend the festival to support our home country, Kazakhstan.
Turkey has once again showcased its soaring ambitions in defense and aerospace. At the Technofest Award ceremony in Nicosia, Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan announced that Turkey now ranks among the world's top 3 countries in unmanned aerial vehicle technology. The event, held in the Turkish Republic of Northern Cyprus, also underscored Ankara's strategic emphasis on youth and technology. President Recep Tayyip Erdogan hailed Turkey's advancements in the defense aviation sector during his speech at the Technofest Award ceremony in Nicosia. He emphasized that Turkey would press forward in unmanned systems development with unwavering determination and enthusiasm. Highlighting the nation's recent breakthroughs, Erdogan pointed to several key achievements: the Kaan National Combat Aircraft, the Bayraktar Kızıl Elma unmanned fighter jet, the Anka-3 unmanned combat aircraft, the Hürjet advanced jet trainer and light attack aircraft, the Hürkuş new generation basic trainer, and the Atak-2 heavy class attack helicopter. He also drew attention to Turkey's growing naval capabilities, represented by the multi-purpose amphibious assault ship TCG Anadolu, which he described as a source of national pride. Erdogan stated that Turkey's strength comes from its youth and the confidence it places in their technological innovations. He outlined a vision for a stronger Turkey and a more prosperous Turkish Republic of Northern Cyprus. According to him, the foundations of the future are being laid today through investment in education, technology and sports. The president also announced plans for new school construction and upgrades to existing facilities in the region, aimed at enhancing earthquake resilience and safety. The latest edition of Turkey's premier technology, aviation and space event, Technofest, attracted large crowds in the TRNC capital. Around 62,000 people visited on the first day alone. On the festival's second day, attendees were treated to aerial displays by Turkish indigenous aerial vehicles, including Solotürk, Hürkuş, the Gendarmery's Steel Wings, the Bayraktar TB2 drone, and the T-129 attack helicopter. From cutting-edge drones to next-generation fighter jets, Turkey is pushing ahead in aerospace innovation. Technofest in Nicosia offered a glimpse into a future driven by local talent and national ambition. That's all we have for now from Baku. Stay tuned to A News for more updates and have a wonderful day.